Hey guys, welcome to our YouTube channel where we discuss all the latest news related to electric vehicles and we do that on regular basis. So before I start today, and I have some big news to share which I have read today. Before I start, please subscribe to our channel so that you can remain updated about all the latest news that is happening in EV ecosystem in India. So make sure you hit the subscribe channel. So I will start with one article which I read on the climategroup.org, and this article is about the ride sharing on electric vehicles. So it is this article is written by Vinay Roth, who is head of policy and strategy finance at Bounce, and you know and what they're trying to do is they're trying to break some myths and based on shared electric mobility. And so definitely you can go through the article if you want, but I'll just share a gist of it. That the myth one that they are trying to basically break is that electrified shared mobility will lead to unsatisfactory customer experience. I mean, some people might believe, I don't believe that, but some people might believe that electric vehicles might give a poorer experience compared to the internal combustion engines. That definitely is not true. Even the article cites a statistic that within 3 to 5 minutes of ride, the perception of the person who's riding first time in an electric vehicle changes drastically. 3 to 5 minutes is enough to convince a person that riding in an EV is tremendously better experience than riding in a normal internal combustion vehicle. And so definitely that is one myth which people have. But considering the factors like range or range anxiety, prices or power, but it is said that if you sit in a electric car for 3 to 5 minutes, your mindset will be shifted towards a positive side for electric vehicles. The second myth that they talk about is that electric mobility would lead to a range anxiety for customers on shared mobility platforms. So shared mobility platforms like basically ride sharing cabs like Ola, Uber, or if you're talking about two wheelers, there are other ride sharing applications for two wheelers as well. So one of the statistics that this study cites is that the average daily commute is under 20 kilometers. If we calculate it for any particular person, an average daily run of a two-wheeler in Bangalore is only 8 kilometers, whereas if you focus on a range of an e-bike per charge is 70 kilometers. So definitely the range anxiety, so to speak, will definitely not be there for not just for shared e-mobility but even for personal e-mobility users, because as it says that on an average you will be using it for 10 to 20 kilometers a day. So you really don't need to worry about because per charge you will be getting 70 kilometers. So people really need to break this bottleneck in their minds that the range anxiety especially related to a range of two-wheelers, unless and until you are really planning to do a intercity travel. The myth number 3 that this study tries to break is that increase in electric shared mobility will lead to congestion. I don't know where this myth is coming from. I don't definitely believe in that. And also definitely, any kind of ride sharing, whether electric or internal combustion engine based, will definitely reduce congestion, and definitely obviously the CO2 emission will also be reduced. And then they cite an IPCC report from transportation sector that transportation sector contributes 23% to CO2 emissions statistically. So definitely electric vehicles not just reduce congestion, but they also reduce a lot of emission of greenhouse gases. And then there is a BCG statistic also cited that the shared mobility service had the potential to reduce private vehicle usage by 33 to 68%. And you might see in many governments also, they are actually promoting ride sharing. And you must have seen it in Delhi government, they promoted ride sharing because ride sharing leads to less usage of cars and vehicles and bikes, which further leads to less usage of less emissions of greenhouse gases. And definitely as winters are coming, the weather in Delhi drastically degrades in winter. So definitely you will see such ride sharing, cab pulling kind of policies coming out in Delhi. So this was an article. I'll leave the link of the article in the description in case you want to test it. So moving on to the next news, that is related to the notification by central government. Central government has extended deadlines for EV component localization. So if you remember, the FAME 2 policies had come and there was a incentive of rupees 10,000 crore under this FAME 2 policy. Now, in order to avail this incentive, a component manufacturers has to abide by certain rules which government has set. For example, components such as traction motors, motor controller, vehicle control units, onboard chargers, converters and instrument panels have to be manufactured or procured locally in order to get demand incentive of that 10,000 crores. So there is a local sourcing norm. So what Department of Heavy Industries has done, that it has extended the deadline. I'll show you the model of the car. If you can see, the various components are there. So this is the electric traction motor we are talking about, which you can see there, and then there is an onboard charger, there is a charge port. So many of these equipments government has mandated for a local sourcing, and in order to in case any manufacturer wants to avail that incentive. So what Department of Heavy Industries has done is that they have extended the deadline for localization of several components under its phased manufacturing plan for EVs from 1 October 2020 to 1 April 2021. So that's a good news for definitely for our local EV manufacturers and EV component manufacturers. Moving on to the next news, guys. Volvo has come out with its new model XC40 all electric model. Its name is Recharge. It's called Volvo XC40 Recharge, and it is first of the several electric models that Volvo will be planning. I'll just display the model to you. That's the model which it will look like. It's pretty beautiful, and as you can see, so Volvo is taking a highly aggressive approach, and what they have committed is that by 2025 the 50% of the cars that Volvo will be selling will be electric, and the rest 50% will be hybrid. That's a very bold and very aggressive goal, but definitely what we can see is that most of the car manufacturers have realized the impact or importance of shift towards electric vehicles, and they are in a race now to move towards electric vehicles as fast as they can. Just to tell you about this model, XC40 is capable, or at least they claim that it is capable of for over 400 kilometers and on a single charge, and charging of the batteries up to 80% on a DC fast charger will take around 40 minutes. It's a Google integrated car with Google Assistant, Google Maps and Google Play. So, and Volvo's rival, guys, if you have seen my last videos, I have said that Mercedes-Benz, a Germany company, EQC will also be launched in India. So definitely an Audi e-tron will be launched in India soon. So definitely there is a competition for launching in Indian market as well. Right now there is no model of Volvo XC40 Recharge in Indian market. So definitely it will something definitely introducing this new electric model by a company like Volvo will intensify the competition in the electric car ecosystem. Moving on to the next piece of news, guys, is from a company called Ampere Electric. So what they have done is they have just updated their models, and their models include Rio, Magnus, Zeal and V48. I'll show you one of the models which I have. That's the Rio Elite model. So they have introduced some changes to the model. For example, the Rio Plus model, which you can see on the screen, it has a new feature like a USB mobile charging and ignition start button, and Elite series will come with the improved load carrying capacity. And then there is another model, ZLX. It is being introduced with the improved mileage. And also one of the articles says that Ampere partners will partner with OTO Capital for leasing options. So in case you are really looking for a leasing option for a scooter or electric two-wheelers, then you can definitely check it out. Alright, moving on to the next news, guys. So there is a company called Gemopai. If you must have heard, they are into again electric two-wheelers, and there is interview of one of the co-founders of this company, and so what they have done is they have introduced a new scooter which is named as Miso. So that Miso scooter is launched, and if you can see the design on the screen of the scooter, its cost is very less, it's around 40,000, and this is in addition to the current models of scooters that are already there. And they already have Gemopai Miso, they have Gemopai Astrid Light, they have Gemopai Rider. Now this Gemopai Miso, which is around 44,000 rupees, and it also comes with a 3 years of free warranty and service. This is primarily built to focus on delivery guys, and they are actually pitching it as a social distancing scooter, because they have realized that in this corona time, the role of delivery guys has really become important, and they have launched this low cost model, as you can see. And also one of the good statistic which they have given is that in the interview is that what they the particular executive has said is that the sale of electric bikes in times of corona had actually slumped initially, but now it has again picked up, and if you see, it has already reached 70% of what it was in times of no corona. So, and by Diwali they are expecting that sales will be normalized. So that's a good news that electric vehicle sales are stable. And if you remember that in previous videos I had already analyzed one article which was discussing the impact of corona on electric vehicle sales. So if you really want to know it in detail, do check out that video. And moving on to next pieces of news, guys. Now since the quarter has been closed, so definitely the automakers have released their sales numbers, and I'll just quickly go through that. Bajaj Auto has also reported 10% jump in September sales, and they have secured 4,41,306 units of sales, which is 10% more than the last September. So that's definitely a good news, and one of the probable reason, there is no ideally in a time of corona we would expect a slump in sales, but it is increasing. And ideally one of the reasons can be because the people are now at home and they want security, they want safety, and they want a safe means of conveyance in case of an emergency. So definitely people might be buying vehicles because of that reason. Moving on to Honda, sales also has marked a 9.7% growth from September 19 to September 20. They have clocked domestic sales of 10,199 units against 9,301 units last year. So as I said, the sales have increased, they have not slumped. So these are the two figures for Bajaj and Honda car. So it's just and we can expect this kind of similar trend in for other companies and other segments as well. So it's a good news, and probably Diwali festival season is also coming, so sales actually will pick up. Moving on to some international news, that in USA, a senator has introduced legislation with help of which India and USA can cooperate and work together for clean energy cooperation. And the senator's name is Robert Menendez, and what he has done is that the Clean Energy and Climate Cooperation with Indian Act, that's what the act they are really forcing upon, and they will be establishing a US-India clean energy and power transmission partnership as a main forum for cooperation between the two nations. So that's one of the international news that has happened. So for today, that's it, guys. These were the major news items which I thought were important to be shared. I hope you liked my video. Do subscribe to my channel in case you are interested about knowing for electric vehicles, and if you want to remain associated with the latest news, trends, and all the information that is happening. So do subscribe to my channel. I'll see you in the next video. Till then, goodbye.